This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. Look, I'm trying to go back to sleep. Y'all know I said I got up like 5 o'clock this morning, but I wanted to come on my restream, live stream, because I want this message not just to go to my regular Facebook page, The Couch Conversation, but I wanted to go to YouTube, LinkedIn, um, and I really, really need y'all to please start paying attention. You know, please start paying attention. And the place where I'm getting ready to go has a lot to do with mental illness, right? And once again, I'm still trying to think like what we can do to help our most vulnerable people. And I'm really trying to think what we can do to basically help our most vulnerable people. And the reason why I'm saying that because I'm really looking at, and only because of what I've been experiencing, recently too, that if our people, right, and I'm not just talking about black people, don't get it wrong, I'm just talking about people in general that has mental issues, you know, if we can't find a way to get the ones the necessary help that don't realize that they in such danger, with their mental health, or let me say, because I'm trying to find that word, because I'll say stuff like having a mental episode or something like that, but I basically want to say having a mental breakdown. I want to use it for others like having in a state of mania and stuff like that. So they having a mental breakdown. And this has really, really like been bothering me lately. And not to the point that I'm stressed or anything. It's like in my mind, I want to see what we can do to like be able to get our loved ones and relatives the necessary help. And I'm just saying people in general, because I deal a lot with the homeless population. And I know a lot of our homeless encampment people and stuff like that, they dealing with some severe mental issues. That's why a lot of them out on the streets and stuff like that. But I'm trying to, and I know it'll come. It'll come. And somebody else going to hear the stuff that I say, and they're going to actually tell us what we can do by law to help those that need to be put away, and like 24 hours treatment. Not just, I don't mean 24 hours treatment, I'm wrong, but I was thinking about what is it, the round the clock, like if they have to be put away into some type of assisted living program because they will never be able to function again on their own. You got me? So some of them will have to, is that extreme where they would have to go into like an assisted living program, not the 24 hours. That's what I was trying to get away from. The ones that, you know, the ones that might, I'm gonna say, come off their medication and that's not taking their medication, we can, get them back intact. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at the ones that really have like severe mental issues. And I don't want, And I'm going to say this, and I don't care who like it. Them killing Tyre the other day was a prime example of why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because now, okay, if a lot of us knew that this guy was dealing with some severe mental issues, and I know we never would imagine nothing like this happening. He would get killed like this. I know we wouldn't. None of us imagined, because I couldn't even fathom it. But just to hear that he got killed, and then I know in a way he was like a hardcore, but I didn't look at it as like a mental illness that was there. I just looked at him as a fighter and a warrior like me, somebody to just come hard and cold or whatever. But then I'm looking at it and I'm like, because of the people that I tend to work with, and I'm talking about the homeless. You read my business proposal. I talk about helping the homeless and the less fortunate, people that normally fell on hard time. And for me, I begin to see how important it is for people to be able to get that mental counseling or help that they need as well to balance their life back out. So the ones that need medication, we want to get them on medication. We want somebody to monitor them and stuff like that. So this is the whole point of helping people with certain issues in life and becoming productive again. And a lot of y'all hear me say we need to get to the core of whatever that's bothering people. And a lot of times, because of the issues that they're dealing with in the here and the now, are basically is childhood trauma. And even like I said, when I was talking to the what is this practice? Can I say psychiatrist? Because I'm gonna jack the word up. I'm gonna jack it up, right? Practitioner, but I'm gonna jack it up. So I'm gonna say psychiatrist, basically, right? And they diagnosing you too. Now I don't know certain words. Everybody tends to know that people with like issues now tends to stem from childhood, right? So that's why I always say we need to get to the root cause of why people act the way they act, because it's a reason for them to be dysfunctional, or if their life has fallen apart just through being unmanageable financially. It's always something there to have gotten them to that point. So basically, when you deal with them, you got to find out what it is so you can address that issue for them to do better now. Now, I was sent a message, and I can't see if you on here or not. Um, and I know y'all don't mind me saying this because y'all have it post. Y'all have it post. They giving a thing for Messiah Fit, and a lot of y'all probably don't know that Messiah Fit had a mental breakdown as well. They wasn't talking about it a lot because they didn't want people to know that he had this, right? So they have a panel of people that's going to come out. We're going to meet and we trying to help Messiah Fit, where he really, they might drop the charges for him, on him, because he robbed the bank. He didn't even remember robbing the bank. He didn't even remember. So the good part about it, Yvette, and I do want to say your name, she sent me a message. I was sent the flyer by some other people too about um, meeting to talk about mental health. Now, keep in mind, I might not be an expert or be certified or have like a doctorate degree behind it or anything like that. But basically, when you know people dealing with life on life terms or trauma, it's like I don't want to make it so simple, but it's like kind of simple to me. And only because I had to find out what went on in my life because I lived a destructive life before God turned it around. So, and I'm the type that I begin to realize that it's a beginning, it's a middle, and it's an end. So you got to go back to where things started out at. And from understanding the chemical imbalancement within the brain, some of us have healthy thinking and rationalizing stuff, and I mean comprehending pretty well, and some of us tends to struggle to make sense out of life or life situations. Now, mind you, I'm only coming from a level of personal experience, what I had to do. So, no matter what issues a lot of people are dealing with in the here and the now, and maybe I need to make it more clear, is living a destructive way of life. It's something that went on in the past that caused them to be here in the here and now. Now you have people, and I'm gonna say this, been raped, been molested, been abandoned, been abused, and you have people that don't act out in a negative way. But then you have most people like R. Kelly that like younger females. And it's not with and if you dig deep into his story, it wasn't just females. It was guys too that he took advantage of. But I knew right then and there, I knew that something had happened to R. Kelly for him to act the way he did. I knew. And I'm gonna tell you this too, like y'all won't probably ain't paying attention, but watch this. Tiger Woods, with his sexual, he was caught up in, he had a sex addiction, right? And there was a good chance, once again, he might have been molested or been raped and stuff like that. Now, a lot of times the parents might not know that somebody done this to you. They might not know. And then what tends to happen when the children try to tell the parent that what went on in their lives, y'all don't believe them. Because you don't want to believe it, in a sense, because that makes you feel like, where did I go wrong at? How did I allow such and such to happen to my child? And that wasn't your fault. That somebody else violated your child and you didn't know. So it's not for you to carry that blame or that shame and guilt. Now, how can you say this, Steve? Because y'all got to understand, when I say I done work on me, I had to learn to be held, take accountability for the part I played in whatever, and understand what I had control over and what I didn't have no control over. But when you have a child that's being raped or molested as a child, they go into this numbing state because you don't want to keep dealing with that pain. And when I go back to stuff like that, I used to fantasize a lot. And when I fantasized, I was in my own world, in my own little comfort zone. That's why when we were sharing it on the show one day, and Barbie, you know, that imaginary friend, and Barbie said imaginary friend because I was trying to think of that little that person that, but Barbie said imaginary friend that we tend to create as children. I bet y'all ain't heard nothing like that in a long time because God dang it, I'm talking about it. I'm like, dang, to myself. And see, a lot of us will not. We'll see our child, we'll see the child acting in a certain way. And if we see them doing things that's truly out of the norm, something ain't right. And as my children was coming up, I was really, 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 my wife and I was overprotective with them. So we didn't trust too many people around them by themselves. So if my child come and say when they was young, such and such happened, I would be truly amazed because we always tried to shelter our kids like that. So would nobody actually violate them? And a lot of times we don't, I ain't gonna say we don't care. I feel like something right here. I don't like that. I don't know if it's from me scratching myself, but I feel like something right there. But I'm on it. I just oh God dang, that's my laptop. Now I'm on it. I just want to say this that I was asked to be a part of the panel to come and speak at this function that they get ready to give. But because of, once again, the work that I tell y'all I have done on myself over the past, I'm going to say almost 30 years, and changing my old ways of thinking, trying to do stuff in a different way. And if I find myself repeating same habits again, I just have to learn to let it go again. I have to start that process of like surrendering, letting go. You know, mainly when I see it starting to bring a bunch again, it's starting to bring a bunch of chaos, confusion into my life. And I know a lot of people can't do that. So that's why, once again, you're going to hear me talk about the mental health program because some of them need, is more of us that need the help from professionals than not. So after I got off my first live not too long ago, I laid back down. I said, I'm going to go back to sleep, chill out for a while. And I don't feel like going downtown to file papers again. I don't feel like it. But I'm like, what else can I do? Because if I don't do the process right with the paperwork and everything, then I'm not getting the person the help that they properly need. And I have a business that I have to run. So I normally go around the house and I'm sitting at my office desk. I'm checking the phones to see what messages might have came or what calls I might have missed. I'm trying to make sure everybody in the house is okay because I have clients in there that I need to focus on to make sure they're okay too. But now, when I reach out to the police and you're going to tell me that it's best that I kind of stay away to keep the peace, what about the other people in there? So, y'all see what I'm saying? And this should not happen like that. So now I have to go in my head and see, look at some of the laws that we can get done. And 9 times out of 10, most of the laws that you look up is going to involve the police taking action. That's why they laws. Now, I made another statement too, because today is election day. And I'm not telling y'all not to go vote and stuff like that. I'm not. I'm not voting. And the reason why I'm not voting, because I fight too much against our lawmakers to do the right things. And I'm not going to vote you in. And then you just turn around and do like y'all been doing and do the total opposite. I'm not going to do it. Because that's what I started saying. And I'm like, I'm not going to vote you in and hope and pray that you do right. And then not only that, because I truly understand that it's not a lot y'all can do when it comes to the grassroots, the footwork. Now y'all can create a bill, but it's the people that has to kind of like work within that, because it's not y'all. Y'all basically don't do the footwork. What I mean with the footwork, the solution. You're not working in the solution. You don't have a plan and process. I mean, like a say like a nonprofit or organization or business that's already doing what you're fighting for, but they already, taking the necessary steps. If y'all understand the difference from where I'm trying to go with this, because you can create a bill, but then it will take years if you get it in the law. It's going to take years and years to kick in if don't nobody really believe in that bill like that. And even it takes time to take form anyway. So what I begin to understand, being a member of Communities United, and we're actually in the community putting on like community meetings, community forums, and all of this go hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. Listen to what Brandon Scott and them be saying. If they sit back and create a safety plan, right? And then they tell you it takes about 6 or 7 years to kick in. They're not going to be in office probably the 6 or 7 years for it to take full effect. So guess what? We need something now. If you understand what I'm saying, that's where the physical work come in at. So whatever bill they create, we need to be on the ground working in that solution. So once I started realizing a lot of that they can't do. If I say Mayor Pugh is one example, remember she had the books and she tried to incorporate her business into politics and she got in trouble. Look at what's going on with Donald Trump. He's a businessman. Even though he had to, put his business, let somebody else run his business. He still had his hands in it. That's why they coming at them like they doing, because he still made millions or not billions off of this, or not, because he had that authority, he had that power. But you can't mix like business and politics. I was gonna say pleasure. So that's what I told Mackenzie one day, right? And I'm talking about the Fox 45 News personnel. I said, Mackenzie, I said, what I'm gonna start doing, like when the politicians come out, I want to see what type of work or programs you have in the community that's actually already doing the work to help the people. Because you see how most of them say, if I get in, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. If I get, I'm going to do it. But then none of us ask them, what are you already doing to solve whatever issues it is, or slow certain things down? And a lot of them can't mix their business with politics. A lot of times when we see them at events and they cutting, developers and all of that, they building up in certain community, they ain't really got nothing to do with that. It's just that they was asked to come out to support whatever big developer is doing some work in this area or trying to improve Baltimore City, and it really has nothing to do with them. And that's talking about the physical part of it. But it might seem like it on the other end to us. But they just there to support and let the community know the great things that's happening around in the community. And the things that get me too, I watch what a lot of them do. And they're not doing it in the inner city that needs them the most. And I'm on Lincoln, and I'm looking at Colburn, something with the Baltimore Development Corporation. They doing a lot of work, good work around Baltimore City. And normally when I comment, I'll say, what about the inner city? And these are the people that it's like your more conservative people just shunt to the side. And I asked them, I'm like, well, what about, like, give you one good example down there, Pennsylvania North, on the side where the social service building and all that's at. You go a couple of doors down, like with Toke, Bell's Bondsman, right there. They are starting to redo new apartments there. Now the community might be familiar with it now, but even when, say, like the Art Social Club might have community meetings, a lot of them that's on the outside that's hustling and doing what they doing, they not coming in. So basically, the people that's in the community that's doing what they doing have no idea of why that's being built over there. Now ask me how I know this. Because number one, when you active in the community, you understand you want to get your community, the citizens, more involved and make them aware of what's happening or what's being done in that community. Just like when we have our community group meetings, don't nobody really invite the hustlers in, the young generation. No, but they will bring the citizens out from over, senior citizen building. And if you look around, the people that really needs their assistance the most, they're not in there. Now I'm 60 years old. I'm retired. So I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel and start a life all over again. No, I done been through all that. So now it's more like the relaxing days. You got me? And that's what mostly your elders are about. They chill now. They didn't live their life. Some of them might be working somewhere part-time just to have something to do. But they like, they didn't live the life. But it's the ones that don't understand about life. And they just getting into learning to be more responsible, productive, and stuff like that. So these are the ones we tend to overlook. And I watch y'all do it every time. If you come into the communities, you either at a senior citizen building, and if you in a church, you preaching to the choir, right? But I never see the targeted people that we need to target. That's why the Be More Real Teen Talk show. Now, my limit with that is I don't mind 13, 14, 15, that can come out and just want to talk about some stuff. They might not have the solution, but just to talk about where they at, how they feel. Because it's the grown-ups that needs to listen. Don't fix it. Them. Listen. They're going to basically tell you where they at. And you got some experience in that area now. That's the total difference. But listen. That's our problem as grown-ups. We don't listen. And wonder why the children running around crazy, acting wild. Because we don't listen to what they're saying in order to give them the proper help. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm in this space where if I need to come on and come back on and come back on, I am going to keep coming on. I am. And my goal, because I'm doing the regular, couch conversation on Wednesdays, right? And then I'm doing the Be More Real Teen Talk show on Saturdays. I was trying to stay off of this as much as I can, just so that we can have our scheduled show. But it's like right now, just what's happening, I'm not feeling good with this. And then I'm like, if we don't get our people treated that's dealing with severe mental issues, that's not taking medication, look what happened to Tyree. And then my biggest fear too, because I know I can get out the gate. So it's nothing personal. But if you don't know me, you will think something is wrong with me. And when I'm standing with polices trying to, tell them certain things, and I'm looking for your necessary help, and then all of a sudden I feel like y'all targeting on me, that's not great. That's not great. Now I'm sitting up here arguing with the person that I called you to come out and help. And then I'm turned around, I'm arguing with the police that I called to come out and help. That's not a good feeling. And I done had it happen several times, but now mind you, I'm beginning to understand little by little by little that's really y'all ain't full of shit no more. It's like, what do we need y'all for? Because of the descent decree, it's like you can't do nothing no more. You can't even do your job unless you got to kill somebody. You can't even do your job unless you got to kill somebody. And that's the impression I'm getting. That the crime has to be committed. If somebody talking about committing suicide or wanting to commit suicide, right? No intervention. And in order for them to get the help, they got to commit the act. You got to do the crime. You got to do that crime. Other than that, it's all talk. And I understand. But rather than coming in and trying to intervene before it get there, nope, you got to do it first now. Because of the descent decree. It's like, in order, if you hang yourself and they come in and catch you because you're in the process of committing suicide, you telling them you're going to do this, you telling them you're going to do it, but they like, yeah, right, let me see you do it first. And then we'll get you the proper help. We got to see you do it first. Come on, let us see you do it first. Come on, you talking about killing yourself. We don't believe you. You talking about committing suicide? We don't believe you. Come on, come on, come on. Commit the act first. Oop, you almost killed yourself. Now we believe you really need help. And why do we gotta wait? Why we gotta wait? And I'm telling y'all, listen to what I'm saying. And this is how things has changed. And I'm not feeling it. Now, I know for me right now, if I feel as though things are getting really, really out of control, right? With my thinking, with my actions, with all of this, right? 9 times out of 10, because y'all know I talk a lot. So I'm gonna end up telling you where I'm at anyway. And then if I feel as though I really need to take that next step and go talk to somebody, then I will. Because it's not for me to hurt myself. But I thank God for the fearless and more inventory that I was able to take on myself. Not just that daily inventory. Where I could sit back, quiet, you know, meditate, get it quiet, and ask God to show me, mainly if I know He's trying to tell me something, and I'm not paying attention to it, but I know He's trying to talk to me. And I would have to go, and prayer is communicating. Let me just say that. Prayer is just talking to God. Meditation is listening for His answer. So you got to quiet the mind as He sends you the message. And sometimes He might not make the message real clear to me. So that's why I have to listen to other people, because the message will come through other people sometimes. You might not know it, but I try to pay attention to, if I don't get the message, if I'm not getting the answer myself, then I have to quiet this and then listen as He speaks sometimes to other people. Because there's certain things that have happened that answer will, come there. One thing for me, I don't want to just throw nobody out. And I'm talking about, because of my program is here to help you. So I don't want to just throw you out. But if I'm feeling as though, and this with this right here that I'm talking about, I'm not the only one. Talking with my team and telling them what's happening, they also feel like this might not turn out right, Steve. And when you tell certain people that, now all of a sudden they looking at you, and then I have to let them know things like this. My mental health team saying the same things, because when it get to the point that you're not making sense, or the person not listening to you, or want to be confrontational, and it's not good. And then see, now I gotta watch what I say out my mouth, because, be truthful with you, I'm just not gonna let you come and hurt me any kind of way. So I'm gonna protect me. And I can tell you that, and you know what you will do? For real. Well, how do you want to hurt me? Then I'll be like, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm trying to say something so you'll better understand, trying not to go there. And I don't want to keep saying that, y'all, but this is where I'm at with dealing with certain things. And if we cannot call the police for a situation, so it won't, you know, turn out to be tragic or horrible, who else can we call? Who else can we call? And I'm gonna tell you, it's not me with that. I feel sorry for people that's in that condition, and we trying to get the help for, and the police is not helping. When they come, they like, our hands are tied. I don't know why you called us. Well, this is not an emergency. I dialed 911. I've been dialing 911 for what? All my life. Was 911 there all my life? Trying to think, that was operator. 0. And now when you call 911, and you don't get the result that you was looking for, it's like, oh my God. Wait a minute. I called 311, 211, but when I dial 911, that's supposed to be like, I'm gonna say, an extreme emergency. And then when y'all come out, my mind gonna get around it. It's gonna sink in to help me better understand and make it clear, right? Because I'm a little disappointed in, like, why they not helping? I understand y'all can't. I mean, even though I know your hands are tied and stuff like that because of the consent decree, but it's so much in those consent decree that police's hands are tied. And be honest with you, if you can't come out to intervene or be that mediator, then it's like, why do we have polices? Do you get what I'm saying? Why, if we call you and you can't do nothing, do we have polices? And then if you look at it, the last results, y'all been coming out killing people. So that's not solving nothing. Then again, maybe it is, because you put the end to that life. And I'm just sitting back looking at little stupid stuff, like the lieutenant that came out and went after Freddie Gray. Lieutenant came out, went after Freddie Gray. They made 3 stops, only recorded 2. Merlin Mosby told y'all that, and y'all still turned your backs on her. They documented 2 stops, and the 2 stops they documented was when they picked up Freddie Gray and when they picked up the guy. But then the third one, you see them putting Freddie Gray back in the van, hogtied. And I used to say this just to be smart. How many police cars that normally follow that van once they pick them up for them to take them to Century Booking? I said, how many police cars y'all know that normally follow that van? People say a lot of them do. I said they wasn't in the cars, they was on bikes. Because they show you we don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. So how many times have you known, once that van take off, nowhere in the world that bike can keep up with them like that, on the bike? The lieutenant and his partner was on the bike, riding the bike that day. And I just said that to see who really paying attention. So I'm getting ready to get off. This time I'm going to try to go back to sleep, because I do want to rest up a little bit, because I know I need to make some steps. And be honest, I don't feel like it. I don't. But I got to do what I got to do, because I'm running a business. So I love y'all once again, and I'm out. Have a nice morning.